Hey Willie, what's up, bro? How's it going, man? I hope all is well. Man, I just wanted to hit you up real quick. I know I messaged you earlier asking about your marketing for Feick, and the reason I ask is because I really want to get into marketing for security companies now, um, and you guys were the first ones that came to mind. So I'll just give you a little brief intro of what I do. This is my website here. I have an agency, Taurus Digital Marketing Group, and what I specialize in is SEO, or search engine optimization, and website design. And I'm based out of Tampa. The reason I do Tampa is just because it's a higher search volume than where I live now, and I'll kind of get into some of that with you and Feick in just a second. But basically what it is I like to do is I like to look at it like this. Having a website is owning a piece of digital real estate. And your digital real estate is either an asset or it's a liability. So I did a little research into your website, and I'd like to go over the health of your website, and also tell you a little bit about what SEO is. So SEO is search engine optimization, and it's a way to inform the website search engine such as Google about exactly what it is that your website is about. So if someone's searching for services, and you provide those services, if your website's not optimized for it, Google's not going to show that to that person. So technically, you really don't have an asset. You kind of have a liability because you have a website that's not doing shit for you. So search engine optimization is a long-term marketing strategy. And the reason why I like SEO, number one, SEO is actually being heavily invested in now more than ever. But the reason why I like it is because it works for you 24/7. Unlike ads, where you pay for those, once you stop paying for ads, the traffic stops coming to the website. Search engine optimization, SEO, isn't like that. It actually works 24/7. And if you run a really good SEO campaign, which is anywhere from 6 to 12 months in length, then you can actually keep those rankings in the search engine for really forever, unless someone outdoes you. But I mean, honestly, if that's something I were to do, I would put so much work into it that it'd be really fucking hard to outdo it. So let's take a look at the health of your website. So the first thing that stands out to me here is number one, I know you're on WordPress. WordPress is a great CMS, or content management system, so kudos to you for that. I noticed that your Feick logo here is like not high res, it's a little bit of low res, so something I'd want to do is kind of upgrade that for you, not change the look at all, just make it look high resolution so it kind of blends in with the rest of the website. I don't know if you could see the difference in the color here versus the blue here. Same blue, but this looks a little bit pixelated. Kind of looked like the Feick logo was sitting outside in the sun for a little while. So next thing I move over to here is free quote. That's good. You got a call to action, except I think you could do a little better with the call to action. I would do something similar to my website. I have them fucking everywhere because, well, they work great. So I have one here. Speak with an expert. I also have one at the bottom of the page, but check out the home page. My website loads slow because my internet here sucks, so just FYI. There you go. I have two of them. Get moving in a submit form. They all go to this one goes to the contact page, and this one just automatically, this form right here uploads to my mailbox if someone fills that out. So back to your website. I would do a little something different with the call to action here. I notice your guard login doesn't work. If you plan on using it, I recommend that you move it down to the very bottom of your website, down here into the footers. If you don't plan on using it, I'd get rid of it. Let's go to your home page. You have some really good photos on here. I've looked at some of the competitors in the area. They're not too bad with the photos either, but they don't offer the security services that you guys offer. And I think that's really where you're missing the mark when it comes to marketing your website and showing up on the first page of Google, or at least higher up in the search engine. I'm aiming first page. And with the competition I've seen, that I really don't think that's going to be difficult to do. So your security services should have a little more detail into it, and some of your web pages, and I'll get into that, but let's move on with the homepage here. So you have your services listed out, and then you have a little bit of information here, and you guys your homepage actually falls on the third page of Google, and I think you're being penalized. Actually, I'm pretty sure you're being penalized for two reasons. One, Google has an algorithm called the Panda algorithm, and any website or web pages that display less than 500 words is not given priority. So you're being overlooked because you suffer from what's called thin content. And yeah, so you have some information here about your services, and that's very thin. Not a big deal on the home page, but when you go to your services page, it's still really thin. It's less than 500, and I'll get into that in just a second. One, this is a big deal here. You're missing your security certificate. How funny, security company is missing a security certificate, right? All right, done with the corny jokes. So the HTTPS, the S indicates security. That is another thing that Google's going to, I would call it a penalty. They don't dock you points or anything. It's just that you're not given priority. Other websites that have it, look, I've looked at your competitors. Some of their websites are shit, but because they have the security certificate, they're showing up on the first page. And I'm telling you that because I've seen the website. So I would work on getting your security certificate. There's some stuff on the back end that needs to change once you do that. That's something we can get into at another time. Let's go to your About page. I like the About page. Photos are great. There's Gary. Who is this handsome devil right there? I think for the About page, what I would do, I see you have your contact info here. I'd want to add a map down here, and what that does is that tells Google, again, that you are a legit company. You're showing your location. You're not just displaying it here. You're actually going to show it on the maps. So I'd add that in there. It helps with your local SEO. Your security services. You guys have a plethora of security services, way more than I was aware of, but I spent time today going through all of these. That's awesome that you guys offer so much, and I'm going to get into the keywords and services and how you guys are one, missing out, but also have a very competitive advantage over other security companies right now. So security guards, bam, you're going to get hit again with thin content. Look at that, less than 500 words. I'm not counting this stuff here. These are services. These link to other parts of the website. This is super thin. You want to build these out to 500 plus. I'd say at least 1,000 words. So I write content. Fortunately, I've worked in security. My military background, I can fill out content for all of these. If I find it difficult to do, I can always consult with a subject matter expert, someone who is better at writing in these certain topics than I am, and we can have that work done for you. Something else here that stands out to me is your contact form. Great call to action. However, I would add a border just around this here, make this stand out a little bit more. It kind of blends in with the back too much, and that doesn't break up the eye pattern. So it really doesn't catch my attention. So that's something that I would do with that. I went through all your security pages, and they're all the same thing here. You have one good photo, but you have less than 500 words. You really don't have much going on there. And again, add the borders to that. Contact page. Now, this is something that this is crucial here for anybody that's searching a website. Is you send me to a contact page, but the first thing I see is a map and not a contact form, which is down here on the bottom. So what I recommend is moving your contact page, your form, from here up to the top, and bringing your maps down to the bottom. Let's check out some of your competitors. Overall, I think the health of the website is actually doing really good. So I moved into checking your website on a mobile device. Why is that important? Well, Google has something called mobile first indexing, and that's something that they started mid last year. And what that means is websites that perform well, are responsive on a mobile device, are going to give higher search priority. Why is that? Because more people are doing searches on their phones than on a computer. Now, we could find out if your website is being searched and found more on mobile or more on desktop. Now, I don't know if you guys have Google Analytics set up to your website. If you don't, that's something else I would do. That brings in all the data that tells me everything about everybody who's coming to your website. I know if they're male or female. I know where they live. I know what device they're using. I know if they're using Apple. I know if they're using Android. I know if they're on a computer. I know if they're using Windows, and I know if they're using Mac. So all of this information is something that we can use to better your marketing strategy and enhance the search engine optimization efforts. So this looks great. You guys are doing excellent on mobile. WordPress is really easy to customize for mobile. So let's go on to another ranking factor, and that is load speed. How fast your site loads. Now, why is loading so important? The reason loading is important is because it helps satisfy user intent. So when someone searches a website, think about it. When you search a website and you click on it, if that takes 5 or 6 seconds, chances are you're going to back out and you're going to go to the next result on the page that you were just searching. Google doesn't like that. So one, you'll be penalized. You're going to be moved down. Could be moved off the first page. It just depends on how bad you suck and everyone else sucks. So I put you in here, Feick Security. This is your URL. Even though this is a C, anything under 3 seconds is pretty good. So your load speed is on point. You don't even have to worry about that. So you're doing really well on mobile. You're doing really well on load speed. So I compared two of the competitors, Cambridge Security Services. They're at 2.3. That's good. But their performance is a 66. Their website sucks. I looked at that and it's trash. They don't even have images on their page. But you know what the funny part is? They're ranking on the first page of Google. So Feick has better images, but you're on page 3, whereas Cambridge Security has shit and they're on page 1. So that's something that needs to change. It's not hard to do. These changes are not difficult, but they're time consuming. There's a lot of back end work with these. Let's look at My Empire Security. Same shit. They're at a C. So performance grade from 79 to 80. It's not going to make a difference. Load time 1.86. That shit's low. You know why? Because they don't have shit on their webpage. It sucks. They have no images. Their load time is so fucking low because they're not loading anything but text. They're on the first page. They shouldn't be on the first page. That's horrible. I'm telling you, you guys really do have a competitive advantage over all of these other companies out here that's marketing their security services in Miami, Florida. Moving on. What do we have here? Oh yeah, this is them. My Empire Security. Look at this. Let's see. Oh, what is this image? Oh, what is this? Oh, it's like fucking static. It's like watching a TV and you're waiting for something to come on. There's nothing on here. This is horrible. But they're on the first page. They got a security certificate. So that helps. Now, let's move on. Let's move back to your website. And I want to address one of the key performance indicators. These are one of the KPIs here for doing a search engine optimization campaign. So Google is a search engine, and search engines only search for keywords. So security companies in Miami, Florida has an approximate volume of 110 searches per month. Here are some other related keywords, and this gives you the volume and the competition, which is still fairly low, but the volume's pretty high. Look at them. Cambridge, let's turn this on so you can see something here. They are the first, so they're ranking number 1. So I know you see Yelp and Yellow Pages, they don't really count, but Cambridge Security and Empire and Blitz, a DA of 1, that's horrible, but they're on the first page. 16, that's not bad at all, but they're on the first page. 31 is actually pretty good. So a DA is a domain authority. It is a score given by Google that indicates the domain authority. So you build up your authority by having lots of content. In return, that content brings backlinks, which are links from other websites that link out to your website, and that will increase your authority. So again, these things don't happen overnight. They take time, but when you have a good strategy in place, when you're putting out really good content, it's not hard to get these backlinks. And that's what Cambridge has done. So one thing I've noticed about Cambridge Security Services is they have a Miami, Florida page. So which this tells me that they are actually a pretty big company and they have services more than likely in different states. But let's move up. This is another, aside from your website and ranking on the first page, this is something else. This is critical to your success of also ranking, and that is showing up here in the map pack here for Google Maps. Now, if you take a look here, I know you guys have 10 reviews. So you have 10 Google reviews. Sorry about that. So you have 10 Google reviews, 3.6 on the stars, not bad. That can definitely go up. I have a trick that will increase your Google reviews, because I know you guys deal with plenty of clients. Imagine how many of your clients don't leave a review on Google. Leaving reviews on Google is a ranking factor. This is determined by Google. It is a ranking factor. The more reviews you have, the more social signals that sends to your website. And when Google sees that, Google is going to give your website a preference over others. So you only have 2 photos. I know for a fact when you set up a Google My Business account, they ask for a few photos of the inside of the office, a couple photos of the outside of the office, and then photos and videos of anything else. We need to change this. We need to add more photos, and we need to optimize the photos for Google. Okay, this isn't going to do it. Let's take a look and see if you have alt tags on your photos, and I'll explain what that is in just a second. And you have no alt tag, so that's hurting you as well. So let me explain an alt tag real quick. Google, again, search engine. Search engines read words. They don't read images. They don't know what this shit is right now. They have no idea. They just know it's an image. That's it. This here is called metadata. Inside the metadata, you can put words so that Google can identify this picture. Right now, Google thinks this picture is BW1G88URAPY, all that bullshit. So we need to go into the back end here on your photos, and we need to change that to say Feick Security Corporation. Feick Security Corporation. If we put up 20 or 30 photos, as many as you can get, if you have a video and you want to throw a video in there, even better. We go in and we go on the back end there in the metadata, and we optimize the alt tags on there so that when Google searches this Google business page here, they know that all of these photos on here, in addition to your map, belongs to Feick Security. Let's check out JSS Security Agency. Only 17 reviews, but they have a 5.0. Let's see if they've optimized their photos for alt tags. Not everybody does it. Not everybody knows about it. They didn't either. They're just here because they have 17 reviews, they got 5.0, and they got more images. There's nothing special in that. So there's no trick to it. It's just getting your reviews in and optimizing those images. All right. So I got you on speed. I got you on your mobile layout. Let's talk about another ranking factor for local SEO, and that is your business citations. These are your business listings. So think of Yelp, think of Yellow Pages, right? This is where you guys stand with these right now. 22% of the time customers search for you, they will see the correct information. That's not good. You need to have what's called NAP consistency, name, address, phone number consistency. Now, if you see here in your Yahoo listing, Feick Security Corporation matches your Facebook, but look at the address. Address is not complete. Feick Corporation, Feick Corp, Feick Security, different address. So all of these are inconsistent. I have an account with Yext. We can distribute your business listings with the same NAP. It has to be the same NAP. So whichever one that is you guys prefer to use, whether it's Feick Security or Feick Security Corporation, it has to be one or the other. We can distribute your listings across over 300 business directories. And that includes all 4 of the major data aggregators there is online today. So that shit's so good that when you're driving your car and you have a GPS in your car, that Feick Security, if I'm driving in your area, it's marked on the GPS in your car. So all of this is going to help. All of these help with your local SEO. So think of your business citations, your mobile speed, you're doing great there. Your mobile layout, you're doing great there. Don't need to change any of that. This definitely needs to change. Okay? That and this, same thing. I ran it through a different analysis here, and it also shows the inconsistencies. Their scale is a little bit different. I'm not quite sure how they run their scale. You have a 59% score. You can get to 83 with Moz. I'm not paying you that extra bullshit. I already have an account with somebody else, but they're showing you the same thing. There's inconsistency with your NAP across the different citations here, the business listings. So just want to make sure I covered everything. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is the icing on the cake. These are your security services. These are all the security services you guys offer. This is what you market. This is what you want people to look for, right? When they search. If I'm doing a search and I need a security company for event security, and I go to Event Security Miami, if you're not optimized for it, let's just see if you show up. Not even there. Search volume of 40 a month, but let's go back. Where are we? Please tell me Feick's on the first page for at least event security. Cambridge, not even on the first page. So you see, that's a problem. You're not showing up for the services you listed. So right now what we're looking at is you have a website, but you're practically invisible online. It's not an asset for you guys. You pay probably a few $1,000s to have a website that's not doing anything for you. You have some digital real estate, but you're not leveraging that. You're not using that to your advantage. And that's what SEO does. That's what I do. So let's go into your website. Let's look at your security services, and let's just say private school security. Well, what is the search volume on private school security? I already did some research on this. So private school security, about 70 searches a month. So you're missing out on 70 searches a month for private school security. We did event security. This one here, event security guards, 390. You're missing out on 390 searches per month for events. That means there's 390 businesses, companies, venues looking for event security guards. And they're all going to competitors because you're not on the first page. 90% of the searches don't make it past the first page. So look at the search volume. These are all keywords that relate to Feick Security. They relate to the services you offer, and they relate to your location. Security agencies in Miami, security guard Miami, armed security guards. You could probably even throw in armed security guards Miami. I'd have to check the search volume on it. I wouldn't put anything in there that has a 0 search volume because it's stupid. You're not going to get any return on that. So this is really where you're missing out. Your local SEO and your keyword optimization. Imagine having this amount, add all of this stuff up right here. This is the amount of traffic, if you add this up, that you're missing on your website. Look at construction security. To give you this as an example, 1,000 searches. Pretend 1,000 searches come to this website. Now, it's going to be kind of hard to get them to convert. Well, one, you're missing your security certificate. Two, your call to action is just this right here. We want to put the CTA, you want to put that in their face. You want to put that right here in this area above the fold. You could even throw it in right here on the side. So that's all I got for you guys. I got some other software. I can get even more in depth into websites. I can see every keyword, every organic keyword. I can see all the keywords that your competitors are paying for. I could find all the websites that are linking to the websites that help build that authority. I have software to do all that. And the best part about it is we can steal their keywords. We can steal whatever words they're using to rank with. I can see that they're getting a high search volume for it, or it's putting them on the first page. We can take that. We can put that word on your website, somewhere on a web page. We optimize that web page, and it's easy to do. I just find out if their page is number 1 and it only has 600 words in one image, well, guess what? I'm giving you 1,000 words in 2 images, and that's going to help increase that ranking. And at some point, you're going to push above them, and you're going to stay there, especially if they're not doing any active SEO. And I can tell you now, I've looked at the pages, and they're not doing that. And before I get off with you, one more thing. This is another big thing that you guys are missing out on. Look what you're missing up here. Locations. If I were a search engine, I would not have any clue about where you guys are offering your services. Why is that? Because you have your services right down here, okay? Although they're on your web page, that doesn't mean that the search engine is aware of where you're doing it. Why? Because you're not telling them that this is where I offer services. Just because you have it in text doesn't mean they understand it. This right here, I'm going to get nerdy on you real quick. This right here is an H2 tag. H2 tags and H1 tags, which would be something like this, are key or are keywords that Google will hone in on immediately on a web page. So if you go to a web page and you have Feick Security Services and locations, Feick Security, locations we service, something like that, that crawler that's on your web page is going to know, well, these are the areas they offer services in. Right here, it has no clue. It really doesn't know. It's actually hidden inside the text here. So what I would recommend you do is you build out a locations page, and for every single location. So I have a trick for this too, and it's actually been working really, really well for a friend of mine's marketing agency, is building out a service areas page, then a locations page, and then interlinking the two. It's some nerdy shit, but it does really well for SEO. So that's all I got. If you got any questions for me about any of this, if you want to see more about the backlinks and the other software that I was telling you about, just give me a call, email me, text me, however you want. I'd be happy to go over all of this with you and answer any questions you have. Until then, man, take care, Willie. It was nice chatting with you, bro.